Black slaves in history were always treated badly, but you will shock to know that they were used as disposables. In the tumultuous year of 1863, the life of Peter, a resilient black slave, unfolds on the unforgiving canvas of a cotton plantation in the American South. Amidst the sweltering heat and oppressive weight of slavery, Peter clings to hope, love, and the bonds that tie him to his wife, Dottie Ann, and their cherished children. Peter's existence is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, enduring the relentless toil of picking cotton from dawn till dusk. It is a life marked by the grueling labor under the watchful eye of white overseers, where freedom remains but a distant dream. Yet, despite the dehumanizing chains of bondage, Peter finds solace in the tender moments shared with his family. Their love serves as a beacon of light in the darkest of times, a testament to the enduring power of human connection. Peter, a black slave, clings to the fragile promise of freedom, but when a daring escape with fellow slaves leads to violence, death, and the relentless pursuit of the merciless overseer, Fassel, his path becomes a harrowing battle for survival. With each step, the tension tightens and Peter's fate hangs by a thread. Amidst encounters with dying souls and bloody confrontations, his desperate bid for liberty spirals into a heart-pounding race against time. Will he elude capture, or will the shadows of oppression close in, sealing his tragic destiny? The cruel machinery of slavery churns relentlessly, and in 1863, it conspires to tear Peter away from the family he holds dear. Sold like property to a new owner, Peter's world is shattered, and his heart rends in anguish as he faces a heart-wrenching separation from his beloved wife, Dottie Ann, and their cherished children. The moment when the new owner's decree is delivered, Peter's world implodes. His family, his anchor in the storm of slavery, is suddenly ripped from his grasp, leaving him bereft and desolate. In the face of this brutal separation, the cries and pleas of his children fall on deaf ears as white men drag him away, callous to the agony they inflict. Peter's struggle to resist is fierce, but the menacing glint of a gun aimed at Dottie Ann forces him to accept the inevitable. With a heavy heart, he boards the cart willingly, his spirit broken and his hope eclipsed by the grim reality of their circumstances. In the relentless web of oppression, Peter's journey takes an even darker turn, as he and fellow enslaved souls are herded like cattle to a brutal railroad construction site. The year is 1863, and the promise of emancipation remains a distant whisper amidst the harsh realities of their existence. Transported in cages, they endure a degrading and dehumanizing journey where their worth is measured only in labor. The conditions that await them at the railroad site are nothing short of a living nightmare. In this hellish landscape, the enslaved are subjected to inhumane treatment, where the relentless brutality of overseers knows no bounds. The heads of those who dare to defy their oppressors serve as grim trophies, casting a shadow of fear over the desolate entrance. Their nights are spent locked in cages, where despair hangs heavy in the air, and their days are marked by the unrelenting lash of the whip and the venomous insults of their masters. Violence, biblical perversion, and the terror of feral dogs. How does the whip enforce submission? How is faith perverted to justify inhumanity? And what role do these savage hounds play in maintaining captivity? Amidst this darkness, Peter dares to seek freedom. Can his audacious escape succeed against the ruthless overseer, Fassel? Stay tuned to know the answer. Amidst this unyielding cruelty, the enslaved are further subjected to the perversion of faith as their tormentors invoke the Bible to justify their barbarity. The omnipresent threat of feral dogs, unleashed to hunt down those who dare to flee, further tightens the noose of captivity. The harrowing specter of slavery, in the unforgiving landscape of 1863, is maintained through a triad of cruelty that is both inhumane and relentless. Violence, the twisted use of biblical justifications, and the deployment of feral dogs serve as the wicked tools that bind the enslaved in a nightmarish existence. Violence, as a pervasive and brutal force, is the whip that enforces submission. The lash of the overseer's whip falls mercilessly upon the backs of those in bondage, leaving physical and emotional scars that serve as a constant reminder of their subjugation. Disobedience is met with beatings, branding, and at times even death, a chilling reminder of the absolute power wielded by those in control. Biblical justifications are invoked to perpetuate the moral atrocity of slavery. Distorted interpretations of Scripture are used to legitimize the dehumanization of the enslaved, as oppressors cloak their actions in a veneer of divine approval. The perversion of faith becomes a weapon to subdue the spirit, reinforcing the idea that servitude is not just sanctioned but ordained by God. The use of feral dogs adds a layer of sheer terror to the enslaved's existence. These beasts, trained to hunt down those who attempt to escape, become instruments of fear and oppression, further cementing the notion that freedom is an elusive and perilous endeavor. Fueled by the glimmer of hope ignited by President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, Peter, the indomitable black slave, takes a daring step towards freedom in 1863. Learning of this landmark declaration, which promises liberty to enslaved people, Peter's resolve is rekindled, and he begins to plan a perilous escape alongside a group of fellow slaves. In the face of relentless brutality and inhumane conditions, this newfound promise of emancipation becomes a beacon of liberation. The news of Lincoln's proclamation sparks a flicker of rebellion within Peter's heart, a fervent belief that freedom might be within reach, even if it means defying the cruel bonds of slavery. The group's decision to escape is a testament to their unwavering courage and determination. They recognize that the path to freedom is fraught with danger, yet they are willing to risk it all for the prospect of a life unshackled by chains and oppression. As they set off on this perilous trek, their morale is boosted by the possibility of eventually arriving in Baton Rouge, where they believe they will be able to find safety and assistance. It is a sad time in history when people who have been slaves, like Peter, embrace the opportunity to write their own destiny, despite the fact that the shadows of oppression are vast and looming over them. The daring escape that Peter and his fellow slaves planned and carried out turns out to be a sorrowful journey that is tainted by acts of violence and death. Their frantic attempt to escape captures the undivided attention of Fassel, a ruthless overseer who takes the lead in an unrelenting search for them. Fear permeates the atmosphere as lives are taken in the wake of the mayhem that has been caused. Fassel's brutality knows no limitations, and his determination to reclaim his property is equaled only by the desperate resolve of those fleeing the chains of slavery. Fassel's determination to retrieve his property is matched only by those fleeing the bonds of slavery. The terrifying journey that Peter must endure takes the form of an unrelenting fight for freedom and survival. As he continues to evade the unrelenting chase led by the ruthless overseer, Fassel, avoiding capture turns into a daily routine for him. There is danger lurking around every corner, and both the burden of the past and the promise of the future are suspended in an unstable equilibrium. Peter unexpectedly comes upon a young woman who is on her death, her ragged breaths functioning as an agonized call for assistance. As he makes an effort to save her, their contact is distinguished by both desperation and compassion on his part. But it sadly comes to an end in violence when he faces Fassel and his pursuers in order to preserve the delicate life he was trying to save from being taken from him. The aftermath of Peter's conflict can be seen strewn across his route, serving as a jarring reminder of the violence that is inextricably linked to the struggle for liberty. Every life that is taken is a terrible reminder of the inhumanity of slavery and the unrelenting resolve of those who fight against it. The account of Peter's journey serves as a powerful illustration of the resilience of the human spirit by demonstrating how he overcame numerous challenges along the way. It is a story of unyielding bravery in the face of enormous odds, a journey that highlights the tenacious will to reclaim one's dignity and liberty, even while it leaves behind a trail of violence and death in its wake. It is a journey that highlights the indomitable will to reclaim one's dignity and liberty.